Hello, everybody. This is Fred and Nicole Quinones from qtheexperts at eXp Realty. We're here with Rita Oliva from Olive Leaf Staging. We're very thankful to have you today. Nicole, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I mean, we know as realtors what staging is and what it means for a seller, but we would love for you to, get into that and how it helps a seller to sell their home.
Yes, so before we do so, um, can you take a moment and kind of explain a little bit about yourself personally?
Yeah. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Rita Oliva. I am actually a Tampa native, or not Tampa native, a Florida native. I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, and I lived in DC, in the DC area for about 13 years, and I recently moved back here a few months ago. I've got two kids, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and my husband as well. So we're here. We're happy to be back and super excited to soak up the sun here. I'm the owner of Oliva Staging, which, as you said, is a staging company. So for those of you who don't know, home staging is basically a way to prepare your home for the market when you're going to sell your house. I think of home staging as one of our strongest marketing tools that we have. A lot of people kind of think of it as decorating the house, and it may be a form of decoration, but really the goal is marketing and selling your house for the most money possible.
Yes, and that is definitely an important point. As Nicole and I being realtors, some clients are looking to maximize as much as they can on the sale price of their home, and the services that an individual like yourself and your company can provide can make the difference in the first impression that a potential client who's coming to purchase a home can help them in their decision and might actually get the client that we're trying to assist.
But it
the
also
maximum
helps,
amount.
for homes that are vacant where the owner has actually moved out, it helps to picture yourself living there and what it would look like. And you're not walking into a room that's empty and you're like, okay, would my bed fit in here? Where would I put this? Right?
Yeah.
Like homes sell much
Exactly.
quicker when they're staged.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think there's the twofold benefit of staging because for sellers, it helps them to really, number one, it helps them to know what to do. I start a lot of times with a pre-listing consultation where I kind of go through the house with the seller and talk about, what things need updating, where to declutter, and if they're going to be living in the house during the time that it's listed, I might talk to them about how to arrange their furniture and how to rework things. And so that helps the seller to just feel more confident that they've done everything that they can and that they're really putting their best foot forward. But you're totally right. Like for buyers, a lot of times when they go into a vacant house, if the house is too big or if the floor plan's really open, they can be kind of overwhelmed. They can start to feel like, I don't know if my furniture is going to fit here, or are we going to have to go out and buy all new stuff? And it makes it more difficult for them to picture themselves in the house. So yeah, staging helps with that a lot.
Yeah, it brings the value
So
for sure.
do you, as far as the features that you provide, can you describe or explain like the different types of staging that you do? Do you have ones where you utilize some of the things that they have and incorporate some of the stuff you have, or if you can elaborate on that?
Sure, yeah. I'll kind of talk about it like tiers, I guess. But each seller has a different situation, so they have different needs, right? So as I mentioned, I typically start with a pre-listing consultation where I'll come in for like a couple hours, and we'll go through the house room by room. We'll start with the exterior of the house and then walk through the house room by room, and I'll give specific recommendations for every single part of the house for what to do. Now you have some people who can take a list of items and say, I got it. I can handle this. and they'll go through and make those changes, and the house will look beautiful, and that's all they need. You've got other sellers who they're too busy, they've got kids running around, you know, got a lot of job pressure, or honestly, they just don't like it. Like, they just don't want to, right? You know, and who might say, okay, this is great. Thanks for all these, you know, this whole list, but like, can you just do this stuff? So for those people, I'll come back, and sometimes my recommendations will include like paint colors, or, you know, updating a vanity or updating countertops. So once they've done that kind of stuff that I can't do in the day, then I'll come back and I will get the house ready with whatever they have on hand, right? I call that a photo prep or a photo styling session. And I can be in the house for, you know, maybe 2 to 4 hours doing that. Now, there's the next level from there is for sellers who, you know, maybe their stuff is outdated, or maybe they just don't have a lot of, you know, pictures on their walls, or, you know, maybe they don't have, you know, a lot of like, you know, greenery and little items, or bigger items, right? And they really want that house to pop. So I will bring in some accessories to accessorize their house. So we'll use the furniture that they have, and then I will bring in artwork for the walls, pillows, accessories like, you know, greenery, centerpieces, and I'll still go through and work with what they have, but then I'll use some of my items to accessorize it.
Gotcha.
So those are kind of the levels for occupied homes. For vacant homes, it's a little bit different because they are moving out and their furniture's not there. So for vacant homes, depending on the size of the house, the demographics of the neighborhood, you know, the styles in that neighborhood, I will come up with a staging plan and bring in everything, you know, from sofas to plates for the table, if I decide to use that. The full level and full scale of staging for that house. And a lot of times that does start with the consultation as well, because people may be moving out, but they still may need to know, you know, if they need to update light fixtures, or if they need new paint colors or something like that.
Sure. Now, you know, understanding that we're in the age of technology, of course, as we're here today talking on a Zoom meeting, if you have any like absentee owners that don't necessarily live within the state of Florida but have a property and are looking to sell, do you do obviously like you know, Zoom consultations or FaceTime consultations in that regard?
Yeah, so we can do a Zoom or a FaceTime. Now, for those people, they're typically going to hire someone else to do the work, right? They're not going to be there hands-on to get it done. So, you know, if they don't live, honestly, I'll back up a little bit. During this COVID time, a lot of people are just wary about having people in their house, right? So the remote consultation is something that works for absentee owners, and just for anybody who still wants that kind of advice, but just doesn't want someone else coming into their house. I get it. So yeah, that's something that we offer. And then also, I can give them recommendations on service providers and things like that to get work done, if they need, you know, painters, or if they need something updated.
Sure. And, you know, it's a great balance too, because as realtors too, if we have or need the services of your type of company for a client, we can work hand in hand and, you know, also collaborate and get other preferred vendors involved to help bring that vision that you have all together into one big realization, right? So
absolutely, yeah.
So is there any other, you know, features or benefits, or, you know, things that we've missed that you'd like to bring to light in regards to the staging?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we covered a lot about staging. Honestly, I think a lot of people, I'm really glad that we had a chance to kind of go through the different levels of service, because I think a lot of people think that staging is only something that you do if your house is completely empty. But, you know, I just worked with a client a couple days ago who her house was already on the market. And she called me up out of the blue and she said, my house is on the market, but I really don't like the pictures. They just came and took pictures and they didn't tell me to move, this out of the way, or, I had my hand towel there. And so I think for agents, one thing I want, a lot of agents kind of know this, and a lot of agents go through carefully with their clients and do talk to them, because you guys are agents, right? You know what a house needs to look like. Those pictures. But some agents don't, or some agents don't feel as comfortable, or you go into a house and you're like, this house looks great, looks really nice, but you don't really realize that when the photographer comes, the toilet's open and there's going to be a dirty rag on the, vanity, and there's all these little things that come up in the pictures that weren't there when you saw the house,
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I think, as for agents, I think that, and for sellers, I think that doing something like a consultation in advance can help everybody to feel like we're starting at a good baseline with this.
Yep.
Like we
Right.
know that we're putting our best foot forward, and then we've got the most information, or the best information to at least get us started on this.
Yep.
And even if people don't go to furniture rental or having someone come in and do the full thing in their house, I think even just those subtle changes and tweaks and decluttering and small updates that you can make at the beginning can make a really big difference.
Right.
It can. It definitely does. So, Rita, we actually now would like to take a moment.
Oh, Houdini.
There's a magic hat, right? Now that you've mentioned a little bit about your business and the services that you provide, how can everybody reach you guys?
Yeah, well, if they want to learn more about my company, what I do, see more examples of my work, you can always go to my website. That's www.oliveleafstaging.com. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, at Olive Leaf Staging. They can call me. My number is 813-336-1426. And they can email me as well, rita@oliveleafstaging.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent, so it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to remember.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good branding.
Yeah.
Keep it consistent.
Yeah. So once again, we do thank you for taking the time to allow us, Fred and Nicole, to showcase your business. We look forward to establishing and building a long-term relationship with you. We would definitely tell you guys to go check out her website. She does a wonderful job with her vision of how she stages homes, and you'll clearly see that very quickly when you go to any one of the different places where she had said a moment ago to see. We thank you again for being there and taking the time to showcase your business. Rita, we wish you nothing but the best, and we look forward to growing with you. And
We'll speak with you soon.
yeah.
I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me and for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
For sure.
And just in general, I was watching your other videos, and I already found somebody that I've got to buy a mask from. So
Yeah.
Are just so, I think those are so cool that you're doing that. So thank you for doing that.
Yes,
You're
it's
welcome.
our honor, and that's one of our core values. We love giving back to people and helping the community how we can, and hopefully this will make a difference for you in any way that it can. We're more than it makes us happy. So thank you again. We'll talk to you soon. So this is Fred and Nicole from the Experts at eXp Realty, and Rita at Olive Leaf Staging. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.